Advisory. Some episodes of the 1836 podcast are not intended for all audiences due to details that might be considered disturbing. Listener and viewer discretion is advised.
This episode of the 1836 podcast shares the life of Jimmy Driftwood, the Ozark bard who as a teacher transformed history lessons into Grammy-winning songs that also served as vessels for education, preservation, and advocacy. James Corbett Morris was born on June 20th, 1907 in West Richwoods, a small community in Stone County, Arkansas. Born to Neil Morris, a farmer and folk singer, and Allie Risner Morris, young James absorbed the rhythms of Ozark culture from his earliest days. His family gave him the nickname Driftwood, after the story of when his grandpa showed up with a bundle of river sticks as a makeshift gift for the new baby. That nickname would later symbolize not only his Ozark origins, but also his ability to turn old folk stories into enduring songs made from the raw materials of tradition. Driftwood's childhood unfolded in the isolation of rural Arkansas, where formal education was sporadic and self-reliance was paramount. He attended a one-room schoolhouse in Richwoods for just 8 brief terms, yet demonstrated remarkable aptitude by passing the Arkansas Teacher's Exam at the young age of 16, without the benefit of a high school diploma. Music permeated his youth. His father taught him the old Ozark ballads, and his grandpa made him his first guitar from old wood scraps, an instrument that would accompany him through a lifetime of performances and now resides in the Arkansas Entertainers Hall of Fame. These early influences forged Driftwood into a storyteller whose songs painted humor, history, and heartache into the canvas of sound. In 1928, Driftwood earned his high school diploma from Mountain View High School, a milestone that propelled him toward higher education. He briefly enrolled at Arkansas State Teachers College in Conway and John Brown College in Siloam Springs, covering his expenses by playing the fiddle at local dances. Though he didn't get a degree from either school, the time he spent there sharpened his passions for teaching and music. In the early 1930s, seeking broader horizons, Driftwood ventured westward to Arizona. While there, he won a talent contest in Phoenix, which got him some radio appearances and whetted his appetite for performance. Yet the pull of home proved irresistible. By 1935, he returned to Arkansas to take up teaching in the remote community of Timbo. It was in Timbo that Driftwood's innovative spirit truly blossomed. As an educator in one-room schools scattered across Stone and Searcy counties, places like Primm, Roasting Ear Creek, 56, and Snowball, he pioneered a unique teaching method. He composed original songs to teach history lessons to his students. One such creation, wrote in 1936 to aid in teaching the War of 1812, was the song The Battle of New Orleans, a ballad that captured the battle's chaos mixed with Ozark wit. This tune, initially a classroom tool, lay dormant for years, awaiting its moment in the spotlight, which would later come. Personal life intertwined with professional pursuits when on November 26, 1936, Driftwood married Cleta Johnson, a former student whose partnership would anchor him through decades of triumphs and trials. The couple welcomed 3 sons and in 1947 purchased a 150-acre farm near Timbo, where they raised their family. Driftwood balanced fatherhood and farming with his teaching career, eventually earning a Bachelor of Science in Education from Arkansas State Teachers College in 1949. That same year, he ascended to the role of principal at Snowball School in Searcy County. Throughout the 1940s and early 1950s, Driftwood's songwriting flourished, aside from his teaching duties. He wrote over 6,000 compositions, submitting them to various record labels with modest success. His work drew from Ozark folklore, blending narrative flair with historical accuracy. In 1957, he signed with RCA Victor in Nashville under the guidance of producer Chad Adkins. The following year, RCA released his debut album, titled Jimmy Driftwood Sings Newly Discovered American Folk Songs. The album showcased the Battle of New Orleans alongside other originals. Driftwood resigned from teaching in 1958 to pursue music full-time, gracing stages at the Grand Ole Opry, Ozark Jubilee, and the Louisiana Hayride. His fame exploded in 1959 when Johnny Horton recorded a polished version of the Battle of New Orleans, with slight lyrical adjustments for radio appeal. The song surged to the top of the country charts for 10 weeks and the pop charts for 6, selling millions of copies and catapulting Driftwood into the national spotlight. That year he won the Grammy for Song of the Year, sharing it with Horton. Additional Grammy nods followed for Best Folk Performance for Wilderness Road and for Eddie Arnold's take on Tennessee Stud, in both the country and folk categories. He performed at the United Nations, and in 1962 joined the Grand Ole Opry as a regular member. That same year, he briefly taught folklore at the University of Southern California's Idlewild campus, bridging his academic roots with his musical career. But Driftwood remained anchored to his Ozark homeland. He returned to Arkansas and channeled his energy into cultural preservation. In 1963, he founded the Rackensack Folklore Society in Timbo, a collective dedicated to safeguarding traditional music and stories. He co-created the Arkansas Folk Festival in Mountain View, fostering community gatherings and celebrated regional heritage. Another crowning achievement came from spearheading the establishment of the Ozark Folk Center State Park. Through hard work and advocacy, he secured $2.1 million in federal funding, serving as its musical director until 1975. In 1976, Driftwood and the Rackensack Society constructed a rival venue nearby, ensuring the flame of folk tradition burned undimmed. Driftwood's influence extended beyond music and into environmental stewardship and public service. He played a key role in the 1972 designation of the Buffalo National River, America's first national river, protecting its pristine wilderness. He promoted the wonders of Blanchard Springs Caverns, was the chairman of the Arkansas Parks and Tourism Commission, advisor to the John F. Kennedy Center for Performing Arts, a member of the National Endowment for the Arts Advisory Board, and musicologist for the National Geographic Society, where he produced the album Music of the Ozarks. He circled back to his quiet farm near Timbo, where he continued farming, storytelling, and performing until his health faltered. On July 12, 1998, at the age of 91, he passed away due to complications from a heart attack in Fayetteville, Arkansas. His funeral service, held on July 15th at the Ozark Folk Center in Mountain View, drew a massive crowd to bid farewell to the Bard of the Ozarks. True to his roots, his ashes were scattered across the family farm, merging once more with the land that inspired him. Jimmy Driftwood's legacy transcended the charts and classrooms. His songs, vessels for education, preservation, and advocacy, were covered by many famous artists and won multiple Grammys. He bridged Ozark authenticity with mainstream appeal, ensuring that the voices of the Ozark Hills continue to echo in American culture.